In today's video, we're going to be using the paints which I used in my last video, which is the Daniel Smith Jean Haynes Master Artist Set. I felt like I didn't really truly explore the potential and amazingness of some of these granulating colours, so I wanted to do a bit of a deep dive into three of them in particular. The colours that I'm going to use are Cascade Green, Undersea Green, Lunar Blue, and a small touch of Aussie Red Gold. I wanted to do a kind of really simple cactusy plant. So I've got 3 pots lined up here, and I'm going to put the 3 colours into each of those pots. And a pop of the Aussie Gold for the pots themselves. So this is a super simple demonstration using 3 colours, 1 paintbrush and a tiny piece of cotton watercolour paper. I don't really know much about this brush or where it came from or how I ended up having it, but it's one of those travel ones that splits in 2, which is quite handy. But it's got this really lovely big head, and I don't know, it feels like it's natural, but I couldn't tell you anything more about it because it has nothing written on it and I have no recollection of when it came into my possession. So let's use that. Just going to use a small amount of paint. This is the Cascade Green first of all. I love this colour so much. It seems to be green, all green to begin with, but then as you add it to the water it starts to separate with this beautiful turquoise colour. So I'm just making these up and I'm just basing them on the kind of plants that you see around in pots. There's kind of agave cactus with the really big lovely leaves. So I'll let that dry and move on to the next one, which is going to be Undersea Green. This is a much more yellowy green than the Cascade Green. And again, it just comes out initially looking like it's just going to be green, but as we put it down onto the paper, I'm sure we'll get some lovely separation. I'm being careful here just to use 1 stroke of the paint because I had a really lovely comment from somebody on one of my previous videos where I did a swatching, and she said the reason that I was getting lots of streaks, which I was because I kept going back and forward over the paint that I had done. So here, in honor of you, I can't remember your name, whoever wrote the comment, but this is my 1 stroke painting. And next up is the Lunar Blue, which might seem quite a strange colour to use for a plant, but it's just got this beautiful quality to it. And some of these plants, these cacti, have a really lovely bluey, greeny undertone to them. Or not undertone, but a really bluey, greeny feel. So I felt like the Lunar Blue, I could get away with it. Looks quite Air Force blue to begin with. So while those dry, I'm going to go in and do the pot. I find this Aussie Red Gold really strong, and I have to say I didn't particularly enjoy it when I first did the swatching. So we'll see what happens now. I just found it really harsh, like a kind of orange that I would struggle with. So I'm going to give it a really light glaze to begin with. Just go in, so it's almost yellow like. I'm really going to be careful not to touch any of the paint above, because otherwise I'll make a horrible mess. I've done the outline for the pots in coloured pencil, so that's not gonna move in any way. Okay, so I'm just going to come back in and add a little bit on the side. It's not quite that deep terracotta colour that I'm looking for yet, but I'll just add some more. See, it's really quite powerful when you put it on full strength, or even stronger strength. This isn't quite full strength, but stronger. I'm going to mix a tiny bit of Lunar blue into it, which is going to make a bit of a greeny colour, but I just want to make it a bit not quite so full on and bright. Tone it down a little bit. And that is a super simple, quick demonstration of some cactus plants in some pots using amazing granulating colours. This one really blows my mind. That Cascade Green is just, I think it's rapidly becoming my favourite colour. Here in the tube it just looks completely normal, but out of the tube released, its magic shows through. This Undersea Green reminds me in some ways of the Olive Green Deep by Aakash. It's got that olivey green colour with the blue undertones, which is quite similar. And then the Lunar blue is just wonderful. I love it so much. Now that this is dry, I just wanted to show you the difference between this one that I did on camera and this test piece that I did beforehand. When I did the one on camera, I put a lot more pigment into the leaves and I went back and put more on there because I wanted to get a deeper color. But you can really see the difference, how much darker it is, but there's some real pooling of green, like it's really thick green with the blue underneath, which didn't happen quite so much on this one, which I didn't put so much pigment on. It's much more speckled, much more spread out. So I just thought that was really interesting. I prefer actually this one. It feels a lot lighter, and this one, when I look at it, I kind of get the feeling of a muddy puddle, like there's just too much pigment sitting in there. So yeah, I prefer the more easy, lighter granulation that I got with this one. So I just wanted to point that out to you in case you're playing with these as well and you feel like me, tempted to put loads and loads of colour on. Just be aware that the granulation might be much heavier and might really sit in these deep pools. So it entirely depends what effect you want to get, but I just thought I'd point that out because I found it quite interesting. So I hope you enjoyed that quick demonstration. If you did, check back again soon. There'll be more granulating watercolour things happening and lots more fun to come. Thanks for watching. Bye.